Hey, what's up you guys? It's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below what you want to see in the future. Click that subscribe button and turn on my post notifications. That way you get notified every single time I post a video. In today's video, we are going to go into chapter 14 of Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. I am very thoroughly excited that we are back into these, and I can't wait to keep making more content for you guys. I'm just so freaking excited and nervous and scared to see what's gonna happen because, you know, Pippa always solves things, but I hope that Jamie comes back alive. That's my hope. You know, Jamie's gotta come back alive. Anyways, let's get right into it because chapter 14 is somewhat of a long chapter. Don't forget to have your daily dose of Red Bull. And let's get into this video. This video may contain sensitive topics and foul language. If you do not wish to continue, please click off of the video now. You have been warned. Let's get into chapter 14 of Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. Hello. Yes, sorry, Pip closed her laptop, avoiding her mom's gaze. I was just saving something. What are those posters for? Pip shuffled. I think their meaning is pretty clear. Jamie's gone missing? Don't get smart with me, her mom said, one hand going to her hip, always a dangerous sign. Pip's dad paused, putting the groceries away, and leaned against the counter almost exactly in the middle between Pip and her mom, yet far enough away that he was safe from the battle. He was good at that, making camp in neutral ground, building a bridge. Yes, it is what you think, Pip said, finally meeting her mother's eyes. Connor and Joanna are really worried. They think something's happened to Jamie. So yes, I'm investigating his disappearance, and yes, I'm recording the investigation for season 2 of the show. They asked me to do it, and I said yes. But I don't understand, her mom said, even though she understood perfectly well. Another of her tactics. You were done with all of this after everything you went through last time, the danger you put yourself in? I know, Pip began, but her mom cut her off. You ended up in the hospital, Pippa, with an overdose. They had to pump your stomach. You were threatened by a now convicted killer. That's what's the only way Pip's mom referred to Elliot Ward now. She couldn't even use the word what he'd really been, a friend, and Barney. Mom, I know, Pip said, her voice rising, cracking as she fought to control it. I know all the terrible things that happened last year because of me. I don't need your constant reminders. I know, okay? I know I was selfish. I know I was obsessive. I know I was reckless. And if I said sorry to you every day, it still wouldn't be enough, okay? Pip felt it, the pit in her stomach stirring, opening up to swallow her whole. I'm sorry. I feel guilty all the time. So do I need you to tell me I'm the expert on my own mistakes? I understand. So why would you choose to put yourself through anything like that again? Her mom said, softening her voice and dropping the hand from her hip. Pip couldn't tell what that meant, whether it was a sign of victory or defeat. A high, cartoonish giggling from the living room interrupted them. Joshua, her dad finally spoke. Turn the TV down, please. But it's SpongeBob, and it's only on 14, a small voice shouted back. Joshua. Okay. The noise from the TV lowered until Pip could no longer hear it over the humming in her ears. Her dad settled back into his place, gesturing for them to continue. Why? Her mom reiterated her last question, drawing a thick underline beneath it. Because I have to, Pip said. And if you want to know the truth, I said no. That was my choice. I told Connor I couldn't do this again. So yesterday I went to go speak to the police to get them to actually investigate Jamie's disappearance. I thought I could help that way, but they won't do anything for Jamie. They can't. Pip tucked her hands under her elbows. The truth is, I had to do it. Once the police said no, I didn't want to do it. But I can't not do it. The Reynolds asked me. They came to me. And what if I said no? What if Jamie is never found? What if he's dead? Pip, it's not your job to. It isn't my job, but it feels like my responsibility, she said, cutting her mom off. I know you'll both have 1,000 arguments why that's not true, but I'm telling you that's the way it feels. It is my responsibility because I started something and I can't now take it back. Whatever it did to me, to all of us, I still solved a double murder case last year. Now I have 600,000 subscribers who will listen to me, and I'm in a position to use that to help people, to help Jamie. That's why I had no choice. I might not be the only one who can help, but I'm the only one here right now. This is Jamie, Mom. I couldn't live with myself if something happened to him. I'd said no because it was the easier choice, the safer choice, the choice my parents would want me to make. That's why I'm doing it. Not because I want to, because I have to. I've accepted that, and I hope that you both can too. Pip saw her dad out of the corner of her eye, nodding, the LED above drawing yellow streaks across the dark skin of his forehead. Her mom also saw it, turning to frown at him. Victor, she said. Leanne, he replied, stepping forward in no man's land. Clearly she's not being reckless. She's put a lot of consideration into her decision. That's all we can ask of her, because it is her decision. She's 18 now. He turned to smile at Pip, his eyes glazing in that way they did, the exact way he looked at her every time he told her the story of how they met. Pip at 4 years old, stomping around this very house he was looking to buy, accompanying her mom to the showing because the child care had fallen through. She followed them into each room, giving him a new animal fact in each one, despite her mother telling her to be quiet so she could inform the nice man about the high-spec kitchen. He always said it was both of them who stole his heart that day. Pip returned his smile, and that hole in her stomach started to shrink just a little, freeing up more space for her around it. And what about the risks, Victor? Pip's mom said, though her tone had changed now, and the fight all but gone from it. Everything has risks, he said. Even crossing the road, it's no different from that if she was a journalist or a police officer. And would we keep her from either of those things because of the potential risks? And also, I'm very big. If anyone even thinks about hurting my daughter, I will rip off their head. Pip laughed at her mom's mouth, and her mom's mouth twitched with a smile she didn't want to give into. The smile lost for now, though it gave a good fight. Fine, her mom said. Pip, I'm not your enemy. I'm your mom. I only care about your safety and your happiness, the two things you lost the last time. It's my job to protect you whether you like it or not. So fine, I accept your decision, but I will be watching to make sure you don't become obsessive to the point where it's unhealthy, and you better believe me when I say there will be no missing school or neglecting your studies, she said, counting the points off her fingers. I'm sure everything is fine, but if there is any sign of danger, even the slightest hint, I want you to come straight to us. Promise me. Thank you, Pip nodded, her chest releasing. It won't be like last time, I promise. She wasn't that person anymore. She'd been good this time. She would. Things would be different. She told the yawning feeling that never left her, but I should warn you, I don't think everything is fine. Put it this way, I don't think you'll see Jamie at work tomorrow morning. Her mom's face flushed as she dropped her gaze, tightening her lips into a line. Of all her mother's faces, Pip wasn't sure what this one meant. Well, her mom said quietly, all I'm saying is that Jamie is probably okay. I'm sure he will turn out to be nothing. That's why I don't want you to give it too much of yourself. Well, I mean, hopefully it's nothing, Pip said, taking the bag of apples her dad handed her and placing them in the fruit bowl. But there are a couple of red flags. His phone was turned off that night, and he hasn't been on since. He was acting strangely that day, out of character. Her mom placed a loaf of bread in a box. Well, maybe acting strangely isn't out of character for Jamie. Wait, what? Pip started, pulling back from the box of oatmeal her dad was handing her. Oh, nothing, her mom said, busying herself in the canned tomatoes. I shouldn't have said anything. Said anything about what? Pip said, her heart jumping up to her throat, sensing her mom's unease. She narrowed her eyes at the back of her mom's head. Mom, do you know something about Jamie? File name, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Season 2, interview with Mom.wave. Mom, wait, hold on. I've set up the microphone now. Can you tell me what you're going to say about Jamie? Inaudible. Mom, you have to come closer to the microphone. It can't pick up from over there. Inaudible. Please, can you just come sit down and tell me what it is, whatever it is? Inaudible. Need to get started on dinner. I know. This will only take a few minutes. Please, what did you mean by acting strangely isn't out of character for Jamie? Are you talking about something that happened at work? Joanna said Jamie was working a later shift on Friday before the memorial. Was he acting strangely then? Is this what you mean? Please, Mom, this could really help the investigation. No, I shouldn't. It's none of my business, and this isn't the kind of thing I should be saying publicly anyways. I could get fired. Jamie's missing. It's been almost 2 full days. He could be in danger. I don't think he'd care about what anyone's business right now, and I'll edit out any details I need to protect you, obviously. But Joanna, she's the one who asked me to do this. She's accepted she might learn things about Jamie she wouldn't want to know. Does Joanna think Jamie still works at Proctor and Radcliffe? Is that what he told her? Yeah, of course. What do you mean? He does work there. He was at work Friday before he went missing. Jamie doesn't work at the agency anymore. He left maybe 2.5 weeks ago. He left? Did he quit? His family had no idea. They still think he works with you. He's been going to work every day. Why would he quit and lie about it? He didn't quit. What? Pip. Mom, there was an incident, but I don't really want to talk about it. It has nothing to do with anything. My point was just that maybe Jamie disappearing isn't something so out of character, and why cause trouble for him when, Mom, he's missing. Anything that happened in the past few weeks could be relevant. Anything. Joanna won't be angry if you tell. I know she won't. What was the incident? When? Well, it must have been Wednesday because Todd wasn't in, and Siaban and Olivia were, but they were on showings Wednesday 2 weeks ago, so that was the 8th. That sounds about right. I'd gone to lunch, went to see Jackie in the cafe, and left Jamie in the office alone. When I got back, well, I must have been quicker than he expected because what was he doing? He had my key somehow. He must have taken it out of my purse earlier in the day and used it to unlock my desk drawer when I was out. I walked into him taking the company credit card out of my drawer. What? He panicked when I came in. He was shaking. He tried several excuses to why he was taking the card, said he needed the info so he could order more envelopes, then said Todd asked him to do something for him, but I knew he was lying and Jamie knew I wasn't buying it. So then he just started apologizing over and over again. So he said he was sorry. He just needed the money, and he said something like, I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't life or death. Life or death? What did he mean by that? I don't know. I'm guessing he wanted to take the card to an ATM and withdraw a few $100s. Can you take money out of a credit card? Yes, you can. I mean, you wouldn't under normal circumstances, but that's the impression I got. I knew the PIN because I'd sent him Jamie knew the PIN because I'd sent him out with a card to get office supplies before. I don't know why he needed the money, but clearly he was desperate. We'd never had any problems with Jamie before this. I'd offered him a job to help him out, to help Joanna and Arthur out because Jamie had been struggling to settle anywhere. He's a very sweet young man. He's been since he was a kid. The Jamie I walked in on almost felt different in person. He looked scared and so sorry. He must have been desperate because he would have known that even if he managed to steal the cash, you'd found out eventually. Why did he need the money so urgently? I never asked. I just told him to put the card down and return my key, and I wouldn't call the police. I didn't need to make any more trouble for him. It looked like he had enough going on, whatever it was, and I would have felt too guilty calling the police on one of my friend's children in trouble. You don't do that. So I told Jamie I wouldn't tell anyone what I had seen, but that he could no longer work at Proctor and Radcliffe, and his contract would be terminated immediately. That I'd make up some other reason. I told him he needed to straighten out his life, or I'd tell Joanna eventually. He thanked me for not calling the police, said thank you for the opportunity in the first place, and then he left. The last thing he said on his way out was, I'm so sorry. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have to. What did he need the money for? He didn't say, but if he was willing to steal from the company and get caught, what else could he needed the money for except for, well, something illegal? Well, maybe, but that doesn't mean his disappearance 2 weeks later is suspicious or out of character. If anything, this makes me more certain Jamie's in trouble. That he's got himself mixed up in something dangerous. I certainly never thought he'd be the sort to steal, ever, and the only reason he gave you was that it was life or death. That's what he said, yes? Whose life or death did he mean? That is the end of chapter 14. I will see you guys in the next video for chapter 15. Bye!